We are Joel and Cole, two guys from Calgary who decided to buy a blue water boat 10 years ago. We initially sailed around the Pacific Northwest, the Gulf Islands and Vancouver Island, getting lots of experience. Finally, 2 years ago, we sailed Celestina south to Mexico. After a season in the Sea of Cortez, we are making plans to go offshore. Join us as we head to the South Pacific on our newest adventure.
This goes to show you where we're headed. Straight south. Magnetic anyway. This is now day 3 out of MInerva. We are heading pretty much south-southwest and expect that as the wind changes direction somewhat today, we'll be able to continue further south. And that will pretty much be on a rum line or direct path to where we need to go, Opua in New Zealand. We have managed to thread the needle, so to speak. There's a very big load that is coming from Fiji heading towards MInerva, and we'll reach there tomorrow, where we had probably 5 to 10 knots of wind. They're going to have upwards of 50 knots of wind in the MInerva Reef with 4-meter swells. We had no swell essentially coming over top of that reef. The reef, though, as soon as you get above about a meter, starts coming in. So they'll have 9 to 10 foot swells inside the reef. That's crazy. So we're happy to be out in the open ocean out here where we are getting 3-meter swells, but we're not attached to an anchor, so we can go up and down with them, as you can see we're doing right now. We've had some pretty decent weather in terms of sunshine. It's sunny out today. It's been sunny pretty much every day, maybe a little bit of overcast. We've had no rain so far. I think it's predicted maybe for tomorrow. Had one squall that came through with nothing attached to it, so that was really good. So far, we're 2.5 days in, and we're quite happy with what's going on. There is another low that's coming in from across from the Tasman Sea that's going to come up the coast of the west coast of New Zealand, and we hope to be there and well ensconced in our anchorage by Sunday, so that we miss the low that's coming up on the western side. We'll be there by maybe Tuesday. Anyway, having a good day so far. No fishing. We just can't do that when it's moving like this. I mean, last night I was upwards of 8.5 knots, which is, for this boat, is hull speed for sure. And I was plowing through waves. And the boat's heeled over about 15 degrees. You just can't move around downstairs. And if we ever got a fish on the end of a fishing line, we would not know what to do with it. We'd have to cut it off. Anyway, we're still in good spirits so far, and we hope to stay that way. Pretty breezy now. We're about 25 knots of wind coming from pretty much the east directly. We're trying to head south, so you'd think we'd just be on a beam reach, but we keep getting pushed further west just from the wave action and a lot of the sliding just in this terrible weather. We have some heavier weather today from about now till about midnight, so about 10 hours of that. And then we're hoping that it's going to calm down a little bit more. A little less wind and a little less waves. Right now we're upwards of 3.5 meters of waves, which is pretty big. And we're taking them sort of on our port forequarter. But if we turn at all, we're going to have them straight on the beam, which makes it very rolly downstairs. So we're trying not to do that. We are very heavy reefed Yankee, full staysail and a full storm trysail up. We could not put the mainsail up since we left Tangatapu. We just have not used it. It's too dangerous. That boom will kill people out here. So we're, it sounds noisy, it is noisy, and but we're otherwise pretty good. Thank goodness for prepared meals, because you really can't cook downstairs. Things just fly around down there. You can't hang on to everything, and you have to basically, you're on a 30 to 40 degree tilt all the time, so everything you have to hang on to the walls, hang on to the ceiling to move around. We expect to be entering New Zealand in about 3.5 days. So today is Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We should be arriving Sunday morning. Big waves. Feels is right over. The rail you can see going in the water over here. Yeah. We're doing about 6 knots right now, and we're in about 25 knots of wind. A couple of squalls we went through this morning are just hiding back over there. Sounds like it's trying to start raining again today. So this is what 30 to 35 knots of wind looks like, and 3 meters swell. Again, cameras don't usually pick it up well, but you can certainly see the boat moving back and forth. The waves are just gigantic. We have now reduced sail dramatically. We have the trysail left out, and we've reefed the trysail to its second reef. Sorry, the staysail, and we put to bed the Yankee. So it's just the 2 sails, and we're still moving along at around 6 to 6.5 knots. So that's really just about incredible. Well, today is Friday, October the 18th. We have under 300 nautical miles to go to get to our destination in Opua, New Zealand. We've had a fairly rocky few days. Today is no different. Waves are they're about 2 meters now. They're not the 3 to 4 meters we had yesterday, so things are gradually improving. The wind has shifted as well. It's no longer coming from the south. It's now shifted over to the east and actually into the northeast, which makes it a little easier for us because now we're actually running somewhat before the wind. I don't know if you can see, but I'll show you in a minute, but the waves are coming in our aft quarter on our port side. Sunny eventually today, so that helps with our power generation and the solar panels. They seem to be the real provider for charging our batteries when we're underway, even though we have watt and C and a wind generator. And yeah, we're down to the nitty gritty. We've got less than 48 hours before we arrive, so we've now got to decide what we're eating and what we're going to throw away. Basically, you cannot bring spices or any food that's not from New Zealand into New Zealand. All the fresh vegetables and fruit are gone, and that's about it. Everything very slippery out here at the cockpit. Either got a little bit of water on it, or it's actually coated in salt crystals. Yeah, so it's been turned out to be a fairly nice day. You can see over top of me here that the waves keep pounding away at us, and you can see that it's coming right at our side now, rather than us bashing into them in the forepeak of the boat. And we heeled over nicely, and that whoosh you hear is just the water going underneath the boat. Into the foulies now. We've got our jackets and our waterproof bib pants on. The temperature's dropped now. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm going to say it's about 15 to 16. And the water temperature's dropped as well. It's below 70 now. I think it's around 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, and the weather in Opua, New Zealand has been roughly about 17, 18 degrees as a high. So things have not warmed up there yet. I'm told that New Zealand really doesn't warm up in the north section until roughly December. So we're here very early spring for them, and it takes a while for them to warm up yet. So there you have it. No time for fishing out here. It's too cold. The waves are simply too large. If you've ever got a fish, you can't. The first thing you have to do is slow the boat down. There's no way we can slow this boat down. The wind is too great, and we would be being pulled into the water trying to pull that fish in here. So it's just not possible. I was looking forward to doing some fishing the last few days we were here, but it's not going to happen. Just wanted to show you the sails that have gotten us through this trip. So there's our trysail. It's like a small little mainsail. It's not attached to the boom, which you can see is right here. There's no sail attached to that. It just comes loose-footed, and then it comes down and attaches to a slip ring over there on the other side of the deck. And then in front of that is a staysail, which we've had basically up the entire time. And in front of that is our Yankee, which even now is reefed 1 or 2 times. That's been our engine. These 3 sails have been the engine that brought us across here at high speeds and safely. Most importantly, very safely. We're very happy with that trysail.
I am the fountain of affection. I'm the instrument of joy. To keep the good times rolling, I'm the boy, I'm the boy.
Well, we finally made it to New Zealand, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We anticipate getting to Opua in about another 2 hours. We can finally see land, and it's still breezy. Not as bad as it has been for the last few days, or as good as it has been for the last few days. The waves have settled down a bit, so it should make it okay to get, once we get into the Bay of Islands, some of the wave action should settle down, we hope. And we can put up the Q flag, quarantine flag, as well as the New Zealand courtesy flag. Sunrise behind me, and there, over there, is New Zealand. Here we are in the harbor, the Bay of Islands. You can see lots of islands over there, and it's a great big bay. Lots of sailboats out today. It's a Sunday, so kind of expect that. We can see several anchorages that have masts in them, so obviously a very popular another place like go sailing. I believe there's another one over way down there somewhere. There's another whole anchorage. It's sort of very pastoral looking for the middle of their spring. Nice and green. This is the North Island, so it's got the best weather. The temperature of the water's dropped down to about 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
As around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving, and the rosebuds know to bloom in early May. Just as ain't no love's a cure, you can rest your mind assured.
Our last breakfast at Anchor. This is it. We're just outside of Whangarei. Got a couple of dolphins, actually 3 of them, came to meet us here in the anchorage just as we were leaving. Right there. There they go. Taking a little rest here, I think, instead of being in the open ocean. And now the dolphins are chasing us, or coming with us out of the bay here. There they go. They seem to like the boat. Oh, there he goes, right underneath us. Over there. Yep. Oh, they seem to like this side of the boat. Yep. Oh! They're jumping up to have a look at us. Bye, guys. Bye. Looking at me. And there she goes. Up and away. For a little cruise through the harbor downtown Auckland. There was a bridge that was supposed to allow us to cross over here, but they closed it because they're working on it right now. And so we get this little ferry. It's going to take us from one side of Wainer District over to the New Zealand Maritime Museum, which is right over there. And so you've got a pretty good view of downtown Auckland.
Oh, I did. No, they just did it in the bag.